guest. It's the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sameti. The YouTube how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We are joined today by our special guest, Matt Burke. How's it going, man?
It's going great, man. How you doing?
Good, good, good. Welcome back to the channel. Comments, mate. Welcome. Hello.
How's it going, mate?
Good to see you. Yeah. We were just talking behind the in the green room about how challenging it has been to do the scheduling.
Yeah.
The last time you were on the channel was about a year ago.
Yeah.
I freaked out, man. I was like, what? How was that even possible?
In a good minute.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. I always try to have creators on multiple times throughout the life of their campaign. So I'm kind of bummed that I dropped the ball there.
Oh, no, man. Me too. Just life and scheduling and all kinds of good stuff, you know?
Oh, for sure. So since it's been some time, as you may recall, as is customary on my channel, I like to do kind of a deeper dive and explore the creator in more detail. Would you share your quote-unquote origin story? What kinds of stuff you grew up with when you were a kid, whether it be comics, movies, toys, cartoons, and what were the major milestones in your life that led you to becoming an independent creator?
Sure, man. Well, you've probably heard this like a lot. I was a kid from the 90s, so I had a lot of influences. Growing up, I always liked to draw. I think the first things I ever drew were Batman. One of the first books I ever picked up that I really liked a lot as a kid was the Batman adaptation by Jerry Ordway and Danny O'Neill. I still have that book, and that was just, I remember just looking at that over and over. I love the Batman movies. My first con I went to, I think I was maybe like 8, 9, or 10. I can't remember, but I went to it was like a Marvel con down in LA at the Hilton. I went with my dad, my grandpa, and my uncle, and I just was enthralled with all these cool characters. And I remember picking up like a Sabretooth, and that just kind of opened the door, and all the cartoons, it all just kind of hit me like at once. The cartoons were coming out, the Spider-Man's cartoons were coming out. My dad, he was disabled, so he was at home a lot, but his dad was really into the pulps, like the Phantom and, you know, the Shadow and all that good stuff. And he kind of rubbed that off on my uncle and my dad. So my dad kind of got me into that too. So he was a big nerd too. So he would tape all the shows on VHS. So I actually still have a lot of the VHSs of Batman animated series,
Really?
Spider-Man, all recorded too. And I still have a lot of them that my pops did. So that kind of rubbed off on me. I was actually, you know, really, when I was a kid, I was really gravitated towards the art more than the story. I didn't really read the books too much. I would just pick up the comics and just keep picking them up. And then later on, as I got older, I started to appreciate the story a little bit more. But still, even as I got older, like in my preteens, that was when the image boom hit, and I was really gravitated towards like the Max, Spawn, Pitt was dope. Pitt and the Max would do the crossovers too, and I was really into that. So I started drawing the Max a lot. I always figured he was just a really fun character to draw, and I loved the way that the panel setup was. And I didn't really know anything about comics at that point. I just liked the way that it looked. It was just, and a lot of the books in that time really spoke to me. Also, too, around that era, you know, I was reading a lot of the Mad magazine and Crack magazines, and I really liked I believe it's Mort Drecker. I loved the way he drew, and I was really just like into the caricatures too, of just going to, like, you know, Six Flags or Knott's Berry Farm or or Disneyland and just seeing guys just draw people, and I just really get a kick out of that. And that's how Mad was too. And I just love the way like caricature artists draw mannerisms and expressions. And for me, that's like where a lot of the meat and the potatoes is, and as far as dramatic storytelling and some sequentials. So there was that. And then yeah, I tried to, you know, I tried to get into some art schools, and my grades were kind of whack as far as math and things like that. So that kind of ruined me. I didn't draw for a long time. And then I kind of started getting into playing music, started playing rock, and then I got into metal, played some metal bands. That was fun. Eventually met my lady, and then she somehow we were talking about comics, and she's like, "Oh, you should you know, get into comics and maybe start looking at them again." And this is around the time when the New 52 came out, so I started going back, and I picked up some of those books. I liked a lot of those New 52 books. I liked the Court of the Owls and the Swamp Thing book, and I kind of dug the Agent of Shade, and that kind of got me back into it. I started picking up just different types of comics altogether since then, and just going back and picking up older classics, and that really got me into that. And one night I kind of had like a I don't know if I got in an argument with my lady, I think, and I just kind of woke up one night and all these characters kind of came into my head, and I didn't really like plan them out. They just were there. So I came up with this kind of Butch Cleaver universe. And I was always into movies a lot too as a kid. I really loved the 80s movies a lot too. Like Conan the Barbarian was a staple. Bram Stoker's Dracula, RoboCop, the Batman, the Tim Burton movies were really cool back in the day. You know, really gothic, like Sleepy Hollow. A lot of the old. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I kind of don't want to forget some of the influences. You know, from Dusk Till Dawn, a lot of the Rodriguez stuff, a lot of the old Hammer movies with Christopher Lee. He did like 10 Dracula movies. That was my dad's favorite, like Dracula. So he's like, you got to check this guy out. He's a badass, you know? And he is. I didn't know how badass he was until I watched the special features on the Lord of the Rings. But anyways, I got into the Universal movies and all the horror monsters, and then the slasher films, spaghetti westerns, all this stuff, man. This really kind of came into my mind, and it really influenced the book. Evil Dead, that's probably one of the biggest influences. And yeah, I came up with Butch Cleaver that way, and basically I laid it down. I you know, again, I'm a newbie, I'm an indie guy, I'm still learning. I did the first Butch Cleaver book. I didn't like it. I thought it was hot trash, so I scrapped it. I didn't throw it away, but I just started over. I went back and did it again. And then the second one came, when I redid it again, I was like, okay, this might be like, you know, something I could put out there. So I did that. And then I did the second book, and then I did the third book. I put them in a couple of comic stores, luckily. And after that, I kind of started researching more YouTube things, how to draw, because I'm always looking at different ways artists and comic creators tell stories through sequential art and how they write. And I came upon Ethan Van Sciver, and that's how I started kind of learning about Comicsgate. But I was kind of new to the whole Comicsgate movement at that point. I just was trying to look for art videos, and he was putting out some really interesting stuff. And he had comic artist pro secrets, so it was like these pro secrets, and then he had different stories from the industry about things that I heard before, you know. And
yeah,
it was interesting. And just the way the guy, like, put Ethan, like, you got Ethan Van Sciver right here, you put that shit aside and you just kind of look at the way he draws. It's an anomaly. He has like these blue squiggles and then he draws, like, that's already like kind of like just amazing, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I basically, you know, I picked up on that, and then I found about Comicsgate, and it slowly, like, that was around the time everything started getting really woke and just soy induced, and it was just like a lot of the social political weaponization of entertainment started kind of bombing industries of multimedia, you know. And I kind of just basically coincided with Comicsgate and what they believed, and so I wanted to bring my work over to that. So that's some stuff in a nutshell.
Pretty sweet. Did I hear you right? That actually, hold on. Welcome, Matanui. Hooray! I'm on time. The space-time continuum is safe. Right on. For now. Hey, Lola. Hello. Hey. Welcome. So, Did I hear you right that you actually got your, I guess it's considered the second version of Butch Cleaver in comic shops?
No, that was actually just the second issue. So with the first campaign, I combined issue 1, 2, and 3. I put it into one book, brought it over to Comicsgate, did a new cover, and crowdfunded that. So and then I put some behind the scene features in there, you know, and did the whole campaign that way. And I just wanted to make it easier for people to kind of jump on for this campaign. It could be Butch Cleaver 2, the victim, the villain, or the victor. So that would be, you know, it's a brand new storyline. And if you were, you know, to get the first one, it's roll the bones to know your role. That's all three of them put together. So kind of confusing, but most people don't know about it. So I just figured I'd make it easier like that. Hopefully.
So people can see the progression of it.
Yeah.
More easily tell the order of the stories.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you got a hell of a lot of support from family.
Oh, yeah.
In pursuing this route. I mean, I guess that means you must have been pretty vocal about your love for comics and stuff.
Yeah, like I think it was as like, you know, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. That was what I was going to do. I was going to make comic books. Todd McFarlane was my idol at the time. I did reports on him in school, and like that was what I wanted to achieve, you know. And art wise, business wise, that's what I wanted to do. But you know, it didn't work out that way, and then I kind of steered back to it later. And you know, my wife kind of like she woke up a monster, another one. So now I'm like, you're making comics, and
another one.
I'm not gonna stop pretty much, like unless you know something else happens to me.
Well, has she since become more involved? Like, do you enlist her services as an editor, or does she kind of sit in the background giving you endless support?
She gives me endless support. We're an awesome team. If it wasn't for her, I couldn't even do my comic, because I work a full-time job, and then I come home and I have kids, and she helps with the kids. And yeah, she's my rock. She's the all-star, you know. And what I like is that she understands art, and she's an artist herself, but she doesn't really act on it, and I push her on it. But you know, so I show her the book, and you know, and she doesn't read comics that much at all. But you know, if you show people that don't read comics, and if they can't understand it, someone that does read a comic, you know, I don't know. I think it's good to show people your stuff sometimes, because say if you show like a newbie or something, or a normie of your comic, you know, and they can understand it, then you might be onto something there, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it helps to have a second, third, fourth set of eyes.
Yeah.
Look at it, and they'll be coming at it from another perspective that you may not have even imagined, and something may not make sense to them, and that will let you know, oh, maybe I need to clarify further here in this part, in this scene, to make it even more clear to the average person. So you're basically like, here, make me a variant cover, woman.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. I mean, it's a lot of work.
So on this project, on the first book, you did everything, didn't you? If I'm not mistaken, you did everything from running the campaign to pencils, inks, colors, lettering, even. Yeah. And fulfillment.
Yep.
So are you doing everything again for the sequel?
Yeah, I'm doing everything again. Hopefully by like maybe one day I can like have other people come in and I can pay other people, you know. But at this moment I can't do that, and it's a story that I want to tell the people that I think it could be entertaining for them. Yeah, it's just something I want to put out there, and hopefully people like it. And if they can, then hopefully I could bring on more people, you know, could bring in a colorist, a letterer, things like that, you know, where I could just kind of focus on the drawing, like the pencils and the inks.
Now, when you were doing your first campaign, it got fully funded, right?
Yes, it did.
So that must have been really exciting and an adrenaline boost.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was like a dream come true. You know, everything after that is just, you know, icing on the cake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And getting people to respond to it and giving me like constructive criticisms, tell me things they like, things that they didn't like or to change. That was so awesome. I love hearing, you know, people's take on things. And some people like that you respect, even like maybe back in your book, or people you look up to telling you like, hey man, this is cool. And I'm like, well, damn, maybe I should keep doing it. You know what I mean? Because they're thinking it's decent. So, and you know, I'm having fun doing it. So maybe I'll keep doing it. You know, I'm not going to give up.
Yeah. You're finding an audience.
Yeah.
And as you were going through the campaign on the first book, did you find things that you might want to tweak a little on the second campaign, like lessons learned? Have you made some observations that you think you might want to change and you know, adapt, if you will? And
yeah,
that's for the second.
Yeah, absolutely. Like just little tweaks. Even now, like doing doing this campaign, I'm already finding new things. Like, for instance, I'll just talk about the pre-campaign. You know, I did that for like 6 months, or no, I did like 5 months. You know, and people's attention span nowadays, or just in general, they're gonna forget about it. And you basically want to do it maybe 2 or 3 months right before you drop. That way, it's fresh in their head. Kind of promote it. You know, not so far out. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely going to do that. The campaign page last time, I had a lot of pictures up on there of my book, so I kind of trimmed that down a little bit. Also on the campaign page, it's all the images were all the same size, so I try to make some of them bigger and some of them smaller. That way, it's more. That way, it makes the eye kind of go in and out a little more, just like in a comic book. So it involuntarily, you know, changes. Like anything to tweak the eye and bring them over to your product. That's the way to do it. You know, say if you're setting something up the same way every day, like you got a stand or a cart, you know what I mean? And then maybe the next day you're going to move it over to the right, and then you're going to put like a new thing on top. People are going to walk by and they're going to stop. Like, I know this is the same thing, but you did something to it. And then it's like, I got you, you know? So just changing stuff around. Yeah, man, that's some of the stuff right there. Yeah, basically that's it. Maybe, no, that's, and then trying to have the book done, but my book's, it's about 75% done. So that's, you know, I mean, it is crowdfunding, so I don't know. It's a thin line. So basically it's either have the book done and then, you know, fulfill it. There's that, but then there's also like, well, I am crowdfunding a book, so I do need money, you know, to set the stuff up and fulfill the goals or pay the team. I'm not paying the team, but I'm also making tchotchkes and hopefully maybe bringing someone in for this to help me with some stuff, you know. So
yeah, because right now you are the team, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you presently factor a portion of the budget for yourself, or is it solely for the product itself, getting it out there and
I do it
shipped and everything?
I do it solely for the product. Anything left over is going to go into BUTCH CLEAVER 2 or BUTCH CLEAVER 3. That's how I do it. And then, you know, in worst case scenario, it might maybe go into like art supplies or something like that, or it might just go into like running Rune Cutter comics, you know.
Yeah.
Like I just got hit with the $500 like plus, you know, California sales tax just for the campaign. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. So I mean, people might not know about that, but that's going to happen for some states. You know.
Is that from IndieGoGo?
That's just for California in general. Because it's a sale, it's counted as a sale, even though it's a fund that you're raising. It's still looked upon by the IRS as your state as a sale. So, so it's like you're going to ask for a certain amount of money, but you're also going to get, you know, for every 1,000 you make, that's $100 that the government's going to take, your state's going to take. You know,
yeah.
Obviously, there is some write-offs that you could pull at the end of the year that you have to put in there. You know, and you also have to factor in if you're going to get your book fulfilled and printed before January. All that has to factor into, you know, I mean, if you were to launch a book in January, you know, and then you know, you have a whole year to basically to do it. You know what I mean? And have your book printed and everything, and that way you're ready for tax, man. Otherwise, it could get kind of hairy. But that's something that you got to think about. You know, you got to. There's a lot of little things too you got to factor in. I guess when you're running a campaign, you can never. You almost want to have a little extra cushion. You know, a couple $100 just for whatever for things unforeseeable. You know, anomalies that pop up. You know, this year it's the new tariffs or the new VAT taxes, and
oh man,
that doesn't really apply to me because I'm not really doing too much of that. But you know, there's all kinds of stuff. You know, and then you got to get your bags and your boards, and I like to do I like to get the gloves and just inspect every book and try to do as best as I can to make sure everything's perfect. And some of your books are going to be damaged, so you're going to have to get on the phone with the printer, and you're going to have them fix some of them or print you new ones. Yeah, and then a lot of the overseas countries, they're going to be sometimes 3 times the amount of the American for shipping, and packaging. So
true.
There's that. Oh, and also on my last campaign, I kind of had a bunch of, just on the side note, sorry, I had a bunch of I had a few T-shirts, so I had those all set up as different tiers, different sizes. I just put those as add-on now at limited quantities, so that way it looked a little less cluttered. So, but yeah, that's a lot of stuff, man. You know, but I mean, the bigger and the better your book is, the more you're on here promoting and entertaining people, the more money you're gonna make. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I think that's still big, and it should not be underestimated. Getting yourself out there and promoting yourself in your book shows your drive, your passion for your project, and it gives people an opportunity to get to know you as a person, as well as a creator. So I think it's invaluable to promote yourself. You mentioned earlier about how you want something that appeals to the eye on your campaign. Now, you might change one thing here, but make some more changes here in the way the image sizes are and the page layout, the design.
Yeah,
that's very much true in retail.
Yeah,
it's merchandising.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, one of the things they do in department stores is periodically they literally move, you know, sections of product from one area of the store to another, so it looks a little different every time you visit.
Yep, that's what I do. I work retail, so you plucked it right out of there.
Yeah, it's very clever.
Yeah,
and it keeps things looking fresh instead of stagnant.
Exactly, and it's just like I think that's good in your day-to-day life too. Like even if you're gonna drive to work a different way or just do something different every day, it's kind of good just to stimulate the brain a little bit, you know.
For sure. Oh, geez, wrong one. Sorry.
It's all good.
All right. So BUTCH CLEAVER 2. So you are now funding. Where did you launch?
I launched on Bancroft.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, big Bancroft bump, big launch. It was awesome. Had a lot of people coming in and a lot of cleavers getting in there and backing it up. It was really, really cool.
Is that your fan base, cleavers?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's watch this trailer here.
All right.
Oops. Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right. I like the giant 2 that splashes on there in blood.
Yeah, that was a red gaze right there.
Okay. That was my next question. It looked like a WyzGyz production. So what was this one here? Nightmare Nemesis? Is this the teaser?
So basically, what that is well, the music that you heard on the trailer, that's actually my band, and it's the first minute of the song. So with the last campaign, Death Metal Hero and Rot 10 Glory did a badass song called Roll the Bones, and a lot of people responded to that. And I just figured every campaign I do now, that's like a paramount that I'm gonna try to, either me or somebody else, I'm gonna have a song to give to the backers. So with this one, again, he inspired me, and I wanted to get back in there and record some music. I hit my guitar player Dave up, and I asked him if he was down to write and give a song away, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it," you know. And so me and the maestro Dave, we did this Butch Cleaver song, and it's just basically like some melodic death metal. But people want to come check it out, they could come here and listen to it, and the lyrics are they're on the YouTube as well, so description. And if you back the book, I email you the MP3 like within 24 hours. So.
Oh wow, sweet. Man, I knew he says missed a good opportunity for a pun tagline.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot for the bone. The Bone Butcher.
The Bone Butcher. And this sequel, The Dead Bones Butcher, tells his origin. Is he the victim, the villain, or the victor? So your goal is 4,000 fixed. Is that how much your first campaign was?
Last one was 35.
All right.
Yeah.
And that covers the production of the book, the shipping, the product, the boxes, the printing, all that good stuff, and the tchotchkes, the swag.
All the swag. You got to have swag nowadays, man. A lot of people don't really care about it, but a lot of people do. I know I do. It's like fucking Christmas when I get that. I'm like, yay! You know, I don't know. I just love it. And then I wrap it back up, and then I keep it in my collection, and I save it for my my dream man cave. You know, my bat cave.
Nice, nice. Man, I knew he was thinking about making a pun about cleaving something in two. So, wow, you're at 2,100. So you crossed the halfway mark. You're at 9 days left. So how are you running this? Are you doing 2 30-day rounds of funding and then in demand, or do you have 1 60-day funding?
I'm doing 2 30 days of, you know, for the full 60, so 30 and 30.
Are you in the first month or the second month?
First month.
All right. All right. So we still got some time, but we definitely want to get this thing funded ASAP. The faster it gets funded, the more IndieGoGo will promote it on their page.
You know what's cool too? What IndieGoGo did, like if I just noticed today, I pulled the phone app up for my campaign, and they put a timer on there on the phone. It's not on here, but for some reason it's on the phone version of it. It's crazy. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Because I wanted to ask them to do that like in the very end, just to do it because I think it's awesome. But yeah, they did it on the phone app version of this, you know, and I still got like another extension, so pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Oh, all right. Now, did you already behind the scenes already program it to extend the next 30, or do you have to do that manually later?
From my understanding, you got to manually do that later. From what I read on the IndieGoGo, you have to go into extend and then change it from 30 to 60 and then hit extend. So
now, that's something that confuses people, especially on their first campaign.
Yeah, did that to me on the first one. That's actually what happened to me on the first one, because I kept it at 30 and then I just hit enter because I thought, oh, extend 30 more days, you know. So
yeah, the verbiage is a little confusing.
Yeah,
it makes it sound like they're asking how many more days you want to extend it for, which is why it made sense for you to choose what you did. But it turned out in their verbiage, if you want that extra 30 days, you have to choose extend 60.
Yeah.
So that's a very important note about IndieGoGo.
Yeah.
So yeah, 9 days of the first month, 52% funded so far. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
Butch Cleaver Rides Again, 52 pages, square-bound graphic novel. So this would be a trade paperback, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, square-bound, 52 pages. That's a pretty nice size. How big was the first volume?
Well, the first one I had put together 3 books. So that was 72 pages plus bonus content. So that one's about 92 pages. That one was pretty big. This one's going to be 52. And then I wanted to put some bonus content in there. So it's probably going to be, you know, don't quote me, but probably give or take 5 or 10 more pages plus the 52, you know? So,
okay.
Yeah.
What I like about this cover is it looks like stained glass.
Oh, thanks. Awesome. That was what I was going for. Just because in the town there's a lot of buildings, mostly slaughterhouses that were once cathedrals, and now they're retrofitted as slaughterhouses, and they, you know how the windows are in those cathedrals. So
yeah, stained glass windows are beautiful, especially in churches.
Yeah, I love cathedrals, man, and churches. Just the architecture, the gothicness of them. It's,
oh, sure.
Really into it.
Yeah. So here you're outlining. Oh, here's a good point for potential backers. It's rated mature for gore and violence. That's important to note for people who have kids.
Yeah.
So here, this is where you're breaking out the swag, right?
Yeah. So basically, with this campaign, I wanted to do something new. I talked to a couple people about it. I mean, I thought it might be a stupid idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. I was going to say, you know what? I'm going to do CGs. So every week, everybody's going to get a campaign gift. So every week, I'm going 8 weeks. I'm going to give them a brand new gift, you know, whether it be like a trading card or a sticker. And it just keeps adding to the campaign.
Dang.
That way, you know, I haven't seen anybody do that. I was going to do a full 60 days and just do that. But because of the algorithm, I wanted to do 30 and 30. Hopefully I click the right button this time and don't fuck it up. So
yeah, double check your settings just to make
right. So that's, you know, right now we just Preston Azevedo did some awesome art in the last campaign. I didn't get to do anything with it, so I'm going to make a trading card of that. Basically, it's like an artist edition black and white card, just like last book I did was Jason Bascom of Unhinged. He did an awesome card. And then I also did a sticker with 6 a.m. I luckily got him to do another one. He's doing one for this campaign. In the last campaign, I did a pretty big sticker. I want to do a big one too. So this one's got Butch and his bull tour riding it. And it's a Western. I wanted to do a poster. So I wanted to do kind of like a big poster that you can, you know, unravel, stick it up in your man cave or your garage, throw some darts at it or something, you know. And I wanted to, you know, my metal channel or my YouTube channel is Metal Movies and Brewskis. So I saw that the CG Metalsmith Phoenix Animation were making these bottle openers, and I was like, dude, I gotta do that. So I got one right here. It's a prototype. First 100 backers are gonna get one of these bad boys, and they're pretty hefty. So I took it from my banner picture right there. So they're pretty awesome, you know. I can't wait, and they're heavy. So
oh man, nice.
First 100 backers are gonna get that.
Out of curiosity, have you tried it? Have you opened some bottles with it? And
yeah, I have actually.
Sturdiness of it?
Yeah, I'm actually always looking, because what I do, my shtick is for my YouTube channel, I usually review CG books, and I'll try to find a beer that kind of resembles the book somehow. And then now I'm trying to find the beer that's in a bottle, so that way I can show the bottle opener and kind of show, plug Phoenix Animation, plug Butch Cleaver, and I could plug the book that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So
great idea.
And at the channel, I just kind of talk about books I like. You know what I mean? That's just my style. I just talk about things I'm passionate about. I don't really get into the stuff I don't like too much, because it's kind of personally, it bores me. But I like watching videos when people do that. Everybody's got their own thing, though, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty cool, and a good way to cross promote and share knowledge and stuff at the same time. That's a neat idea. That picking out a beer that matches the book that you are reviewing. So yeah, trading cards, the bottle opener, the MP3 track, trading card from Preston Acevedo, the sticker from 6 a.m. Comics.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it, you know, trying to have it line up with me and my story. You know what I mean? And the stuff that people actually would like. So it's been fun and challenging to come up with different tchotchkes.
What are the dimensions of the wanted poster?
Of that, I'm going to shoot for, I believe, 11 by 17. Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
I got I know a guy that he actually like gets them in a Gemini mailer and wraps them around the product so it doesn't fold or anything, and it worked out perfectly for his campaign. So I saw what he did and I wanted to mimic that. It was forgot his name, Michael Beacon. He did for 7 Legions for his.
All right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's genius. I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? So that's the direction I'm going with that. So hopefully it works out perfectly. And I want it to be a big, you know, a big poster. If not 11 by 17, then maybe a tiny little bit bigger, but a poster, you know.
Is it going to be like standard poster material with kind of a glossy front, or are you going to go with like a fancier paper that actually feels like old stained paper?
It depends. I'm gonna have to do some trial and error. I'm probably gonna have to go with just a glossy paper, a poster though. Just, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to just get like some nice paper and spill some coffee on it and get a lighter and burn the edges around it, you know. And then, that would be ideal. And or some calligraphy paper, and there's different types, but I don't know how durable it's going to stand up inside of the Gemini mailer. Yeah. And I want people to hang these up in their garage, and I want them to be able to stand up against some darts.
Oh yeah, so, for sure. And that's nice. You're providing some interiors. Good.
Yeah, that's a young Butch right there. He's meeting Whitey Ratatouille, his father's biggest competitor, and that's his uncle Jake right there, and basically showing him the family business. And that's a voodoo doll. That right there is one of the ringleaders or gangster crime lords in the town of Oubliette. He's the one that puts the curse on Butch Cleaver and Whitey Ratatouille. He's the one that makes Butch basically the dead bones, gives him the power of, you know, to control bone. That right there. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, is this where he transitions into him?
That right there. Without spoiling too much, yeah, that's basically when Butch gets really like fucked up. He has to kind of go into this bone cocoon, amorphous state, kind of like the Fly or something like that, and then he breaks out of it, you know, and he'll be sort of in like this big kind of hulkish primal form, and that's one of these. That's one of the in the book. In the second half, he's going to have to go up against these lieutenants for the voodoo doll, and that's one of them. That's Zulambi. He's this badass African zombie. Yeah, a lot of fun with that guy. So right there, that's a part of the book because we're going to go into his past. That's Butch when he was alive, and it's a scene from the dollhouse. That's the voodoo doll's back house establishment because he's got this like this building where it's part of it's a church and part of it's a whorehouse because he's a preacher pimp. In the front's the house of love, and in the back is the dollhouse. And Butch goes in there to collect from the pimps because in the story he's working for Whitey Ratatouille as he grows up because he starts working there as a kid and he slowly moves up the ranks and becomes this like street enforcer for Whitey. And basically, what Whitey does is, you know, you do what he says because he's got the best meat in town, and if not, then you're going to get some rotten meat, or you're not going to eat it all. So he does that, and he goes to basically collect from the voodoo doll, and the voodoo doll is the main pimp, but he also has other pimps, and those guys weren't collecting, so that's a little something happens. So
Man in News says beep.
Yep.
I'm just going to do that every time I hear that noise.
And that right there is him fighting the Raw Meat Rin. He's like the utmost vile pirate to sail the 9 seas. And basically, there's this little confrontation he has in the Warg Skull, and that's like this Viking meat hall saloon. Butch is drinking his whiskey milk, and this guy comes up and tries to hit him with his sword. Butch blocks it 2 sides, and I love pirates, and I wanted to create like this badass pirate that basically his arm is like has a blunderbuss, a sword, and a hook all in one. And I wanted to give him like a blunderbuss leg too, so that's kind of like Rodriguez inspired a little bit. So little black beard in there too. So
that's pretty wild.
And yeah, that's just another fight scene. Butch going up against the 5 Points Fitzpatrick, this Irish cop. He's on the Voodoo Dolls payroll, and he's a scrap-a-bapper right there. So I like martial arts movies, just action movies. I like seeing Butch get his ass beat. I don't want him to be 100% like OP, where he's just like unstoppable, you know. So if you get his bones, you could break his bones. He's gonna bleed this like pinkish gooey stuff, you know. And you know, I want him, you know, maybe he's redeemable somehow. You're gonna see why he's so brutal in this book too. You're gonna going into his childhood. So. And if you read that, there's some stuff that happened from the first book. There's why there's a reward on his head on the poster right there.
3,000 smackaroos.
Yeah, 3 is my lucky number, so I just put that on there. And that was a trading card for the people that signed up for the campaign or backed in the first week. So if you signed up for the campaign or backed in the first week, you're going to get that trading card. And that's just him from when he was alive. I wanted to do something really special. So. And that's Butch and Tor. That goes out to all the backers. It's Butch fighting a bunch of zombie voodoo dolls. Hybrids. That's something that happens in the story in the second half.
So stretch goals at 6K, you're doing patches. 8K middle. What are you looking at in terms of dimensions on the patches?
That's something I'm still looking into. I haven't I looked into it a little bit, but I want to make them as big as I can, but I'm not exactly sure how big we can go, you know, that way people can slap them up on their Levi or their leather. So
are you looking for them to be the iron-on style, the stitching style, or both?
Probably both. That would be ideal.
Good deal.
Yeah.
And then at 8K, metal bookmarks.
Yeah, I have some designs for the bookmarks. There's 2 different styles I want to go with. I'm not going to reveal what it is now, but we'll see what happens. So I have some ideas for that. I think it would be kind of original and fun to look at.
Were you also looking to enlist Phoenix Animation for those metal bookmarks as well? Or
Absolutely, yeah.
Sweet. Nice. All right, let's check out the, you know what, hold on. Let's watch this second video.
And that, it's just the music, so it's just like one image, so.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just the music only.
Is it like a minute's worth, or is it longer than that?
It's a long song. It's pretty brutal, too.
Oh, well, I'll say that for those playing at home. Let's see. All right, so looking at the perks, I love that you have a feature tier. Feature tiers are generally not the lowest. I mean, typically not the cheapest tier. It's not the most expensive. It's somewhere in between, kind of like the biggest bang for your buck kind of tier. Oftentimes it can include like the original book and a variant cover. It might include some extra swag like a print or a trading card. Yours is titled The Bone Barrel.
Yeah.
And so what does this one come with?
So this one right here is going to come with the first print graphic novel of Butch Cleaver #1. It's going to come with the graphic novel Butch Cleaver 2, the premier book on this campaign. And it's going to come with a Bristol board head sketch by me of Butch Cleaver. And that's, I believe, 7x10, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty decent. And it's going to look like the one similar to that. I did that on the last campaign. Did pretty good. Sold about 15 of them. And so I thought I would bring it back.
All right. So is this what you would call your catch-up tier for those of people who weren't able to get in on the first book campaign? Definitely
one of them. I have this one, and then I just have a regular 1 and 2 as well. And then if you wanted to add on the head sketch, you could do that too as an add-on, but it's cheaper to buy it in the Bone Barrel. It's $5 off for the head sketch.
All right.
So
next we have the signed Butch Cleaver 2. So,
yeah, and if people want, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, if people don't want me to sign it, they could just DM me or email me, and I won't sign it. So I'm just signing them on the inside of the book too. So with the metal Sharpie, nice. Doesn't really affect the cover or anything.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, that's a good idea. And then we've got first print graphic novel Butch Cleaver #1. So did you overprint on the first campaign?
Yeah, a little bit, but not too much. I didn't raise that much money. I mean, a good amount of money, but not so I could overprint so much. So, yeah. So
you have a certain number of copies left.
Yeah, probably about 80 to 90 or so, something like that.
Okay.
Around there.
Cool. Then we've got the Butch Cleaver head sketch. Is that the head sketch alone, or is there a book with it?
That's just the head sketch alone if someone wants me to bang one out for them.
All right. And did you say that it's gonna resemble this image?
Yeah, definitely. It's more like a bust, like kind of like a shoulder, not just a head. So, but I just call it a head sketch because it, sounds like better.
All right, now we're at the signed Butch Cleaver #1 and #2. Oh, this is the one you were talking about as well.
Yeah.
This is your other version of the catch-up, except this does not include a print.
Yeah, there's no head sketch.
No head sketch, rather. Yeah. And then the next here, we've got wanted poster art.
Yeah, that's the wanted poster art. I actually have it right here. If you guys want to look at it, that it'll be this right here. So you get this. You get the Butch Cleaver 1, Butch Cleaver 2, and a head sketch, and you're gonna get free shipping worldwide on this specific perk. So,
all right.
You guys are into that type of thing.
All right, that's the wanted poster to get the original artwork there. We've got a street enforcer card. So what do we have here exactly?
So that right there would be the art 11x17 of the street enforcer card that I did. You're also going to get Butch Cleaver 1, Butch Cleaver 2, a head sketch. I'm going to throw a card in there too. I don't have it in the picture because it's kind of, I could put it in there, but it's going to be so minute that it wouldn't really do it justice to see it. So I'm going to throw that in there. That's the only other way you can get it now if you haven't signed up for it or backed in week 1. And you're going to get free shipping on that worldwide for that perk.
Wow, free shipping worldwide?
Yeah.
Whoa. And this is one of the, I like when campaigns show the tiers that are sold out.
Oh yeah, it feels good to have that sold too.
Yeah, it's fun because, well, it more or less reminds me of what I missed out on.
That was a. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
Oh, I was going to add that it also serves as a warning saying, hey, You know, you don't want to drop the ball in the next campaign. You know, look at these cool tiers. Take advantage of it next time, right?
Oh yeah, and I'm you know, I'm a newbie, and I'm conscious of the industry and how artists are getting paid now. You know what I mean? So it's a hard thing to price, and you know, I'm just trying to, I want to just give people their money's worth as best I can. So that's why I'm trying to really load these art tiers up. You know what I mean? I really want it to feel like something special.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes new creators don't offer larger tiers. I mean, yeah, you want to keep things kind of simple initially.
Yeah.
But you don't want it so simple that you literally inadvertently ignore part of the market. There's actually people in our community who want to support creators.
Yeah.
They want to back the more expensive tiers.
Yep.
So that you're that much closer to fulfilling your dream, your goal. And that often is important to have some more expensive tiers, not just the low end. I mean, there's a tendency to want to keep it as affordable as possible, but you still want to address the needs of those who are, I don't know, a little more well off or have the resources to, you know, invest more.
Yeah.
In a given campaign. So that's pretty sweet that you got this one sold.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I put that one up just, you know, that was like the one piece that people responded to the most on the last campaign. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll put this one up. You know, maybe they might want to pick it up this time, you know, and someone picked it up. I was just like, oh, wow.
Well, was it by chance during Bancroft's stream?
Yeah, it was.
Nice. That's cool. That is so cool. What? Magic flying hat. Oh wait, wrong stream. I have two streams open in one. A guy's talking about his hat flying off, so I mixed up the two. Well then. Well, I never. Yeah, very cool, very cool. Let me check something real quick because I wanted to see if there were some more things I needed to share. Is that me echoing?
What's that?
I thought I heard myself echoing.
Oh.
I guess it wasn't. All right. Let me see. All right. I think I got everything covered there. So let's see here. All right. Sweet. And yeah, for everyone who's backed this so far, thank you so very much.
Hell yeah.
Support. For those of you who have, listen to me here, consider backing it again. You might have some family and friends who'd be interested in this book. Remember, mature audiences. This is the second of the series. How do you envision this as an ongoing series?
No, I want to do one and done stories with this character though. I do have one more book, like that BUTCH CLEAVER 3, and that would be just to kind of close this off, because he's trying to solve his murder in this too, but he's also trying to solve something else. I don't really talk about that too much on other streams, but he's trying to do more than that. And I have one more story lined up for the third one. I already have the script typed up. That one's gonna be fun. That one's gonna be kind of like a chase book. Think of, you know, kind of like a high-speed chase, basically, somewhat, half of it.
Okay.
Each book I want to kind of break it, because it's almost like when you got like 52 pages, it's like 2 comics, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I have like this one, we're doing the origin, but we're also kind of picking up a little bit from the first book. And the second one, I have something, and then I have this like big chase I want to do. I have this big concept I want to roll with, and hopefully I can do it. But after that, hopefully I just want to do one big epic story, 52 pages with Butch Cleaver in it, and there's a ton of them already, different concepts I have lined up. You know, I try not to write them too much because for me, like it kind of makes it funner when you like it. You come up with a concept, but you leave it there. I don't like to write too much of it. I like to revisit that concept later and then start writing it because it's so fun.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah.
So do you think after you complete Butch Cleaver 3 that you're going to explore a totally different IP?
I think so. I do think so. I might even explore a totally different IP after Butch Cleaver 2. There's something I'm really itching to do, and I really want to do it.
Oh, all right.
As equally as much as Butch Cleaver, but I'm like right on the fence. I don't know. It's like flipping a coin, and I don't even know if, you know. And it's a different style. It's gonna be very Viking, Norse, and very heavy metal, or not heavy metal magazine, but very metal. And I want to do a different art format for the book. I want it to be big, so it's gonna be like more European style.
Oh, all right.
For what I have envisioned, no one's done it in crowdfunding yet, so it's going to be something totally original. I've talked to a couple of people about it, but and I've talked to a couple of people at a couple of record stores and different places, and they're like, "Dude, you got to do that book next," you know. But I don't know. It's either that or Butch Cleaver 3. But I mean, hopefully, hopefully I get this funded.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna push it.
Yeah.
So. If you backed it already, thanks again. Back it once, back it twice, back it 3 times a lady. If you haven't the means to do so at this time, please consider sharing it all over social media. Share the stream, share the campaign. Let's get this thing funded. Let's play this trailer once more. We'll wrap things up.
Nice.
Were there any other aspects of the campaign that you want to point out that I might have missed?
Just a T-shirt. I guess I could show that if you guys want.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
These are very limited. They got we have mediums, large, and extra large, and front, and then here's the back. Rune Cutter Comics, Roll the Bones, to know your role, and yeah, there's only 5 of each, so it's extremely limited. And yeah, that's basically it. Those are add-ons. So.
Oh, very good. All right. Yeah, I like when campaigns make use of the add-ons feature in IndieGoGo, because without it, it's sometimes hard to put together your ideal set of books and swag.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned it before on streams, where some of the worst campaigns are where you end up having to go through the campaign 2, 3, 4 times to get all the pieces of the campaign that you're interested in.
Yeah, I tried to make it as streamlined, and that's the thing too with the weekly things I wanted to give away. I wanted everybody to get as much as they possibly can, you know. And just make it really streamlined, you know, as much as possible. It's hard too.
Yeah. So how far are you in terms of once a week goodies. So every backer gets every single weekly bonus. Is that right?
Yeah, that's 100% accurate. And I just every Wednesday is when I do the update. So I'll be doing, my goal is to just do like 8 updates for the whole, 30 and 30. And then after that, I'm going to do probably a monthly update when this jam packet full of juicy things about what's going on with the campaign. I think monthly updates are the way to go personally. I mean, if you're in demand, I think a monthly update's cool as far as I'm concerned. A big juicy update. Because sometimes it's just like, oh, you do it every Monday or something. It's not really, I finished a page or it's just like, I don't know. But that's my goal. I'm about 75% done with the book. Yeah, it's almost there too. So
75%. Okay. So there are 6 items. That's 6 weeks worth. Your total campaign is going to be what, 8 weeks?
Yeah. Well, a couple of those I dropped on the first day. So basically it was the first week was the Wanted poster. The second week was the Preston Azevedo card. And then the third week was a 6 a.m. sticker.
So does that mean you might be adding more items to this list?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Definitely.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, and I'm very excited. I have some things.
And then once you're funded, you're planning on going in demand, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I want to stay in demand after I fulfill, I will stay in demand as well. I'm going to keep this campaign open until I launch my next book.
Oh, good. Yeah. One thing that some creators overlook or they skip is where there's a period by which you're doing your fulfillment. People are starting to get their books.
Yep.
And there are some people who will do like P.O. box openings, and then they'll also do book reviews.
Hell yeah.
So it helps to have your shop in demand during this period, because you could potentially see a spike of renewed interest, because people are saying, oh, wow, this creator is fulfilling their campaign. People are actually getting the product, and people are enjoying the product. I'd better get in on this while it's still in demand.
Yeah, and then if I launch Butch Cleaver 3, I could close this one up and have, the first book, the second book, and the third book on the third one. Hopefully, I'm speaking like figurative or theoretically. Or if I open up a new campaign of a different character, this book will just stay open in demand until IndieGoGo closes it down. Because I don't have like an eBay store or anything like that, and I don't want to not be able to offer the book for people whenever they want it. I want people to be able to buy or back Butch Cleaver whenever they can, ideally.
Absolutely, yeah. As far as I know, there is no expiration on how long you can have an in-demand campaign up.
From my understanding is, if you haven't got a backer, I think. I think in 3 months. Now it might be a month, or it's a month to 3 months. So I'd have to go back and double check. But if you haven't got a backer between a month to 3 months, then they close it down, and then you could talk to them and ask them to reopen it, and they probably will reopen it.
Okay.
So, but when I was in demand, I did pretty good. I was averaging that. You know what I mean? I had some people do some unboxings, and that helped out a lot. I had a bunch of, like I said, some positive feedback, some constructive criticism, and I took that to account for the new book. So hopefully I could perfect it, and then hopefully the same thing will happen if I'm given the opportunity. They can give me some pointers for this, because ultimately I just want to be a better entertainer through my comics, So
yeah, that's very important, to remain humble and be open to criticism, constructive criticism, of course.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Awesome. Yeah, so everybody back Butch Cleaver while you can. It is funding right now. We got 9 more days left in the first 30. So consider checking it out and backing it. I wanted to give a shout out and thanks to everyone in chat. Appreciate you being here and hanging with us. Thanks to everyone who catches this on replay. And Thanks especially to our special guest, Matt Burke. I am going to give you the floor. Would you share with the world how you can be found on social media?
Sure. You could find me at on Twitter at RuneCutter Comic, and that's the same as Instagram. You could find me also RuneCutter Comics on Instagram. And if you guys want, you could check out my YouTube channel. It's Metal Movies and Brewskis, where I review metal movies and brewskis. Yeah, basically, I haven't had any videos up there in a while, but it's because I've been working on my campaign, and I want to start doing some more reviews. And yeah, come check it out. You guys might get a kick out of it.
Sweet. As usual, you can find me by checking out the description of every one of my streams all over social media and soon to be more. And thank you all for joining us, and we shall catch you on the next stream.
Yes,
have a great
sir.
one. Have a good
Bye,
night.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Final guest that is the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sameti. The YouTube translation. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.